Hey, it's India Michelle here, back with another video on why men ghost you. Why do you always feel confused after you thought everything was going right, after everything was, well, that you thought was smooth, and you may have been a little too open, in the beginning, but you thought everything was smooth. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you why. But before we get into it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that bell so you can be notified every time I drop a video. Don't forget to follow my socials at India__Michelle on Snapchat and Instagram. So let's go ahead and get into it. And also, Merry Christmas. Boy, you got a couple days. I got a couple days with you. And you going back home. But anyway, so why men ghost you? Why are you feeling confused? So I'm gonna give you a few reasons on why a man does that, right? And I'm not saying this applies to a guy that you're not trying to take serious or something like that. I'm talking about you are dating in hopes of to get wifed up, and it actually working out between y'all two. So the first one would be, you act as if you never had anything, like you never experienced anything. Basically, for example, when y'all go out to a restaurant, right? Or even if he shows you a certain, lifestyle, you're acting all in awe. Oh my God, like, and it could be just something basic to him, or probably basic to maybe an average person, but to you, you always the type of person where he's eating filet mignon and you're like, oh my God, like I never had filet mignon. You always used to ordering chicken and waffles, or certain foods like a burger or something. Now, it's nothing wrong with chicken and waffles and burgers and simple meals like tenders when you go into places like Chili's or Applebee's or stuff like that. But when you go into places like Ruth Chris, Fleming's, those 4 or 5 star restaurants, right? Why are you eating like you getting a 4 for $4 at Wendy's or something? So he's going to pay attention to that. He may not say anything. He might not even look a certain type of way. But you might have those guys that, you say, oh, let's go here. And you be like, oh, I never had that before. He's going to look at you like, you ain't never had that before? Like, goddamn, girl, you don't go nowhere. And that is kind of a turnoff. Excuse me. House a little smoky because I was cooking lamb chops. But that is a bit of a turnoff, ladies. Now, it's different if you are with a guy that just the same as you. Y'all never been nowhere, and that's cool, right? Because y'all equally yoked. But if you're talking to someone that lives a certain lifestyle, you kind of have to put yourself in a position to kind of float. And what I mean by float, that means like, don't show that you are, not used to certain things. You kind of can, pick up with it without showing that you never experienced it. Like, move as if you had experienced it since as a child. You know what I'm saying? So, and speaking of, what I'm saying, somebody gonna talk like, you say, you know what I'm saying. It's a bad habit that I say, you know what I'm saying. But F you, you know who you are. But anyway, so, now number 2, let's lead to number 2. And everything will kind of tie in together. It will be like a rope in a sense. Or it would tie in together. Number 2, the second one would be, you tell him a little too much too soon. Again, this is not for people that you're just screwing, or like a homeboy or a homegirl, whatever. This is somebody that you're trying to take serious. As time goes on, you do open up a little bit more and more and more. And the same thing, he will open up a little bit more and more. The more he feel like he can trust you and he feel like it's actually going somewhere. But on the first week, you do not tell him that you got drunk and woke up to a dude in your bed. You know what I'm saying? After the club. Those type of stories, you keep that to like yourself or your homegirls or your homeboy that, it ain't really like that. Or or even if it is like that, it's not like that to the point of y'all about to take it serious. So certain things you might want to refrain from saying. Again, he might even ha ha with you. right? But again, in the back of his mind, he's going to tell his homeboys, yo, like, shawty girl, wow, like, I could really goddamn really take advantage of her. Or you might say something like, oh, back kind of similar to number one, oh, thank you, my ex never did this for me, he always did the bare minimum, blase blase, right? So then he will sit here taking that information, and all he got to do is just go a step up from what your last boyfriend did, and you'll make it seem like you're special. That is dangerous, ladies. You would turn a guy from actually wanting to do certain things for you, or actually being that quote-unquote perfect guy, that quote-unquote soulmate, into an F-boy. I mean, because let's just be honest. Every guy who may be right for you can also be wrong for another girl based off how she acts. It's not always a guy that's just an asshole to every single girl he messes with. Usually it's the female and how she approaches herself in the beginning of how the relationship ends. So sometimes, ladies, you have to kind of rewind back how y'all met, rewind back, you know, certain information that you put out to say, huh, is this the reason why he's treating me in a way? You know what I'm saying? And with all this being said, before I wrap this video up, because I do have to go somewhere, I'm already kind of late, but I wanted to go ahead and put a video out there for y'all. Another thing, with that being said, if you are broke, or if you at a certain point of your lifestyle where you're at a low point, do not date anyone. Focus on your finances, focus on yourself, because when you go into a relationship, and this goes for both men and women, when you go into a certain situation and you don't have it like that, or you at a point where a person that has nothing to do with your past trauma, and it might not even be nothing too deep, but it's deep enough where he or she might not want to deal with that, you need to go ahead and nip that in the bud. So y'all comment at the bottom about how y'all feel about, you know, dealing with women who tell you too much, or certain times in your dating history, or one of your exes where you done shared a little too much, a tad too soon. Okay, you didn't open up maybe 3 months ahead, you know, than what you had supposed to. And fellas, you know, again, that part of, even though this video is for the ladies, that part is also, the last part is also for you as well. Okay, so I'm gonna end it right here with number 3. Stand out and do more than the basics, right? And this will have a man want you more and more and more and more and more. When you come into a situation saying the average, you know, basic stuff in a relationship, he's gonna be like, oh, okay, I heard that before. Now, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with doing the basics, like cooking. That's kind of something you should kind of do regardless, especially if you cook for yourself. You should cook for somebody that's, you know, that you're with, especially if you want stuff from him. Like, it's kind of like a fair exchange. If he's doing for you and you just sitting there looking pretty, that's not an even exchange. Y'all do for each other. Sitting here cooking, that's kind of basic. Cleaning, that's basic, depending on the level of the relationship. But as time goes on, and as time, you know, shows you that he's worthy, and he's actually, you know, texting you at a certain time, in a reasonable time, back to back, calling you, you know, FaceTiming you, showing that he is interested in you, the more he does that, the more you give, okay? Then he will kind of feel appreciated, like, okay, now my time doesn't feel like it's being wasted, you know, because the more he feels like you just taking, he's going to feel like you're taking advantage of him, and then he might end up turning into a dog on your ass, get rid of you, and then ghost you with no explanation. So ladies, pay attention every step of the way in your relationship. I would even do it for myself when I get up out of North Carolina and move to where I'm going, which will be in a few months, because right now I feel like it's no point of me dating. I've shared that with y'all before, and that video will eventually come out as months goes on. And yeah, so again, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year's, and I hope everything goes well on your holiday weekend. and be safe. Again, this video is about why men ghost you, ladies, so stay aware of that. And also change up on certain habits that you have done in the past that led you to be single. And hey, trust me, I know. I'm not judging you because I know. So again, next time with another video. Bye-bye.